Hey guys, and welcome to yet another glorious dino matchup. On the left hand side today, we have Coops of Clan BBB bringing the undead legions of the Tomb Kings up on Oakenhammer against his mighty dino opponent. Should be a good fun scrap. Big fan of this matchup in general. There's a lot of ways both players can play it, and we have the sneakiest of all snake builds coming in from the Tomb Kings. Let's hop into this. We have some horsemen guarding the flanks, mid-tier horsemen, not too bad at chasing down skinks, as well as running down hunting packs and the like. In the front line, we have skeleton warriors, mixed in with some skeleton spearmen as well. I like this little combo. Personally, I like bringing some tomb guard, but it looks like the money was saved to be used elsewhere. And when I mean elsewhere, what I really mean is on very expensive, sneaky snake boys. We have some knights on the right-hand side here and on the left, and in the back, we have the Regiment of Renowned, Eyes of the Desert, who look so ferocious and awesome. I must admit, Tomb Kings, though I don't play them a huge amount, have some of the best looking units in the game. These guys and the Tomb Scorpion, real top-notch work, and they also bring the pain. Not only do they bring the beauty, they can back it up with that anti-large and stalk. It makes them very deadly indeed. In the central portion, we have a Tomb Prince rolling dirty alongside. It's actually Katep here in the middle, which is pretty cool. I almost always see him on his moving DJ platform, but he's coming in on his chariot, looking particularly grim and angry today, with all the usual spells. We have Incantation of Protection, Curse Blades, all the good stuff. Really excited to see how he actually performs in the matchup up against the Lizardmen. With a couple of skeleton chariots on the right-hand side. Skeleton chariots amazing at cycle charging down Saurus Warriors, skinks with javelins, chameleon skinks. Just such a good utility unit in general up against the Lizardmen. Now, for the Lizardmen, big fan of their build as well. We have double Pterodon File-Leech Bowlers on the right-hand side. They can do some devastating damage to enemy infantry, particularly Tomb Guard. We have the Colossodon Hunters, the Regiment Renowned Oripodactyls moving forward and escorting them. And in the main battle line, we have a load of skink cohorts of javelins just all the way along here, going relatively cheap and cheerful, and they'll be supported though by Crocguard. Now, Crocguard is not cheap and he's not very cheerful. He's rather an angry fellow, looking to bring Prane and Wrath and Ruins to the enemy. He is bringing Hand of the Gods today, so hopefully we get to see some big beam shots. He could do some disgusting damage to Katep, I feel, if he can line that up correctly. We have one unit of the Star Chamber Guardians, a very elite, badass unit, and the Umbral Tide just behind them. But most importantly, and the real reason I'm here today casting is this glorious Skink Priest of Heavens, which is on an Engine of the Gods. Engine of the Gods is actually okay in this matchup. It's still relatively easy to dodge, but also this bad boy Skink Priest is coming in with some real heavy duty spells. We have Chain Lightning and Comet of Cassandora, and there's some wild comets through this battle, so let's hop into this. And the snakes are going to be driving hard early on. They could honestly cycle charge down the skinks quite effectively here, and the cavalry is going to be a big problem for this Lizardmen build. They have to counter it with the Umbral Tide, Crocguard, and the Skink Priest where possible. Of course, Temple Guard in a sustained fight will also do rather well, but at the moment, Tomb Kings are simply running through the enemy formation, doing some lovely work here. Looks like we have our first Engine of the Gods go down. It is beamed up into the sky and doesn't seem to come down anywhere, so perhaps it was cancelled. We're going to get a big fat sandstorm go down on the Star Chamber Guardians, doing some big damage to them. But look at the Tomb King simply run rampant right into the back on the Umbral Tide. We have a ridiculously well-placed beam. That was almost perfection. Moving targets, hitting them with the Engine of the Gods is nigh on impossible. So look at that shot all the way down the line, eviscerating that unit of skeleton spearmen. Unfortunately, no Tomb Guard, though, for the engine to really strike down. That's one of the targets it is best at dealing with. Pterodon's gonna have a fantastic day though, just bomb rushing the cheap skeleton warriors from the high, and can even also drop their little Spirit Teapot style balls down and do some good work as well. Crocguard has unfortunately been surrounded. The curse is down on him, lowering his melee attack by 24 and causing him to rampage. Luckily, the Skink Priest is nearby with the Star Chamber Guardians. Now, this little hero core has to stick together and try to dismantle and just endure the enemy, whilst the Fire-Leech Bowlers in the sky really bring the long-range pain. We can see they're actually going down into combat though, trying to take on the Skeleton Chariots, which is a bold play. We do have Skeleton Chariots mixed in here with the Tomb Prince, and that Tomb Prince is getting slapped up. You mess with the Stegodon, you're going to get a big, fat, hard tail in the face, and also some nasty tusks as well, it should probably be said. And the Tomb Prince not faring too well here. The Star Chamber Guardians escorting Crocguard and guiding him to glory as he carves his way through the hero there of the Tomb Kings. And my god, yeah, that Prince got slapped. We do have the Eyes of the Desert though, doing some nice Overwatch fire. They can do big damage to that Skink Priest, as well as the mighty Crocky G himself. It looks like Pterodons did bomb dive in. Now, I'm not a fan of this play whatsoever. Yes, they're going to be able to shut down some of the skeleton chariots and pin them in place, but they need that ammunition from the sky to kill all the enemy chaff, and then you surround the enemy single targets. You kind of do it the other way around than it's currently being done. Hand of the Gods unfortunately does miss, goes completely over the top of the Grand Katep's head itself. Krokgar is going to be driving his steed in though. No Grimlock, but he's on a horned one, which is rather fancy. He's fighting alongside his Colossal Hunters and Pterodons, and it's become an absolute flustercluck of a fight right now. Krokgar needs to be very careful. He has ventured a far way away from the Star Chamber Guardians, who are simply holding on firm, and the Skink Priest. Now, these two together can obviously deal with almost all of the enemy infantry, but they're going to need help to take down the Eyes of the Desert. Umbral Tide desperately trying to pour on some supporting fire, though the Ushopti, in a rather spooky manner, are summoned from the depths just in front of them, and going to start driving away the Umbral Tide, who are doing their awesome little runs away. Umbral Tide should be able to kite away from the Ushopti relatively effectively, but no, they're going to get caught. No! Run, my beautiful Umbral Tide. No, the Fire Doggos, they've rampaged. They are absolutely done now. There is no way they're going to be coming back from this. Krokgar is trying to go over them to support, but I think it is a little bit too little too late. Now, the Star Chamber Guardians, still 68 models there, because the main threat now is these Knights. If Krokgar can get amongst his Star Chamber Guardians with the Skink Priest, the game's certainly still on, but it's looking pretty good for the Tomb Kings so far, and you can actually see Krokgar getting caught up by the added mobility of the Skeleton Chariots, and the Knights themselves are also starting to surround that Skink Priest, looking to bring him down. In the main fight, or what was the main fight, it's kind of become a light skirmish now. Skink cohorts are doing okay. They're getting pretty decent kills up against the Skeleton Spearmen, but it's mainly been dominated by the Tomb Kings, particularly after that big punch straight through the middle. And now you can see the Eyes of the Desert are laying it on thick to the Skink Priest, who's not having a good day whatsoever. There is support of the Skink cohorts with javelins, and I like this play coming in here by the Lizardman player. He has to get Krokgar and try to shut down the Eyes of the Desert, and even jump the Skink Priest on them. Get everything you possibly have to kill these Eyes of the Desert. They're the main threat to the build. We do get another Engine of God shots come down. It's going to do some okay damage to Skeleton Warriors, nothing too crazy. It will be going over the Knights. It's more designed to kill infantry though, so it'll be do a little bit of damage, and hey, there's not that many good targets left, so you might as well pop it on them while you can. Star Chamber Guardians easily dispatch the Skeleton Warriors. Now we can move in to help support the Skink Priest in the fight up against the Knights. The Eyes of the Desert are also, where are they? They're over here on the left. They actually have an okay amount of ammunition, which is really worrying for the Lizardmen forces, but if you saw my replay from yesterday, you all know how grindy Lizardmen can be when they've got a load of single entities left in a scrap. But the snakes are slithering to try to secure the ultimate prize of Krokgar, who does get staggered there. He gets hamstringed slightly, and now he is well and truly surrounded. You can see a beautiful sandstorm going off in the distance, trying to interfere with the Star Chamber Guardians. We're up to 144 kills so far. Still 14 models is not bad whatsoever, but Krokgar needs to get back to them and to that safety. They're trying to chase down the Grand Meister himself, and it looks like a big slapping hit rocks that chariot, but it stays on its wheels, luckily for the Tomb Kings, and it's going to be getting back here. Krokgar, though, it's looking really rough for my favorite lord. He's such a cool badass. He's slaughtering snakes. Look how many he slays, and he's trying to go out Boromir style here, but he's also getting staggered quite consistently, and now surrounded by multiple units. I don't think there's too much hope, but just as I say that, he slithers away. He has learned from the snakes. He has studied the snakes, mastered their techniques, and has decided that he is going to retreat here. We do get a lovely incantation of Cursed Blades going down, just increasing the stats to really try to finish off Crocky G. The Star Chamber Guardians may actually be able to connect with the Eyes of the Desert, which is pretty big play here, as the Star Chamber Guardians and the Skink Priest certainly won't go down without a fight. The Eyes of the Desert rather wisely do decide to retreat. Now, here we have the kamikaze play of all plays. The Lizardmen player dropping a comet on his own lord, looking to drag down the snakes. If I'm going down, I'm taking you down with me. And boom, in a fiery explosion of slaughtering your own legendary lord. I think he actually died just beforehand, but a smoldering crater of many a dead snakes, but also Krokgar. The Tomb Kings just had enough wit about them to pull out the majority of the force before Krokgar could drag them down with him. Star Chamber Guardians do unfortunately break, seeing their lord go down in such a way. They've lost all hope in the great plan. They think it's false and a evil, scathing conspiracy and lie, and they decide to bow out in what was a close defeat for them, but a Pyrrhic victory for the forces of Koops and the Tomb Kings. Very well played to the Grape Jelly Man. I'm sure he's a man who likes a lot of grape jelly, apparently. I've never had grape jelly. Maybe it's quite good. But he did the old ones proud. He put up a decent fight. I particularly do love this Skink Priest. Very expensive Skink Priest, but coming in with the big comets, the engines of the gods, mods. Just these awesome, real flashy plays, a nice little bit of flair to his build. Combining it as well, the Star Chamber Guardians, certainly no joke, 1,300 value on them and 164 kills, but alas, it was not enough for the mighty Coops and his sneaky snake plays. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll delve into the kills, damage dealt, and damage value in just a second. But if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a big thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to comment down below what you thought of the battle. Loads of links in the description, Twitch, Patreon, Discord, all that good juicy stuff. Discord is where you submit replays. Now from Thursday, we'll be showcasing some Warhammer 3 early access stuff, which I'm very excited to bring to you guys. But I will still be taking Warhammer 2 replays as well for a couple of weeks yet, up until Warhammer 3, because I can't bring you guys infinite stuff, so we'll be mixing a bit of 3 and 2 at the same time. Once again, well played to these lads. The mighty Coops, 659 damage value there on his leader. He performed okay. The sandstorms were nice, and I guess he was mainly here to buff, but didn't do anything outstanding. Likewise, the Tomb Princess got slapped hard by the Skink Priest, and of course the Star Chamber Guardians and Crockguard all kind of combined jumped on him. Infantry got roasted, as to be expected. Now, some decent kills on some of them, of course. They were fighting many skinks, but not the best targets for them today. The Horsemen and Chariots are expected to have done very good. 167 and 42 kills, mid-hundreds for damage value. As for the Chariots, we have 888 damage value and 631, but again, huge kills, 83 and 100. And that then allowed the Snakes to isolate the key units in the form of the Pterodons when they bomb rushed in, as well as the large creatures. And you can see the Eyes of the Desert, beautiful play, 1,500 value from them, only 2 kills, and the other Knights, 2,300 value, and 2,000, my god. The Necro Knights themselves just did absolutely disgusting work. As for the forces of good, I'm going to put them out here as the mighty Lizardmen. Crocky G, 1.8k value, certainly not too shabby. 2.5 and 185 kills from the Skink Priest, 164 from the Star Chamber Guardians with 1.3k damage value, arguably my MVPs for the Lizard Boys. The Skinks really faltered. I mean, I think one unit just about paid for itself, and that was it. The Colossal Hunters got only 700 value, and I think bomb rushing in, I understand the want to bomb rush Pterodons in to muck up the Chariots, because you're like, oh, my Skinks are going to die. The Skinks are going to die anyway. The Pterodons definitely need to stay in the sky and just bomb the hell out of the enemy infantry, and then you can have a bit of a fight between your single entities and the Snakes, and it might go a little bit better, because you will hopefully still have the support of the Colossal Hunters, and maybe even the Umbral Tide, but they simply was not enough to protect them. Getting 0 kills, but still nearly 700 value, not the worst they've ever done. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.